On 12th June 2026, the US government sent a message to Anthropic: turn off your two most powerful AI models for any foreign national. No exceptions, immediate effect. Anthropic couldn't verify users' nationalities, so they did something that had never happened before. They turned the models off for everyone. Just like that, the most advanced AI on Earth went dark. And it raises a question nobody is comfortable to answer. If one government can flip a switch and make the world's most powerful intelligence disappear, who actually controls the future? For most of history, controlling a dangerous technology meant controlling physical things. You control nuclear weapons by controlling the uranium, the facility, the missile. You controlled oil by controlling the wells. You could see what you were protecting. You could fence it, guard it, count it. AI doesn't work like that. A language model is a software. It can be copied, distributed, run anywhere. No physical form, no natural choke point. For years, governments struggled with this. How do you put an export control on something that exists as code? The answer they arrived at: control the chips needed to train it, and control the access to the model weights, the trained AI itself. In early 2026, the US formalized this with something called the AI Diffusion Framework. Export controls, not just on NVIDIA chips, on the AI models themselves. Rules about where US companies could deploy AI compute. At least 75% in allied countries, no more than 7% in any single country of concern. And then in June, the Commerce Department went further. They targeted specific models, Anthropic's most advanced systems, nationality based access restrictions. The result? Both models disabled globally. Why? The official reason is national security. Advanced AI can accelerate scientific research, including weapons research. It can speed up code development, including for cyber attacks. It can process and synthesize intelligence in ways that benefit adversaries. This isn't theoretical. A recent DOJ indictment involved more than $2.5 billion in diverted NVIDIA servers. Sophisticated, organized smuggling operations. Chinese actors going to extraordinary lengths to get AI hardware in violation of existing controls. The US conclusion? Whoever controls the most powerful AI has a strategic advantage: economic, military, informational. And America intends to keep that advantage. The Anthropic shutdown was the most visible use of that logic yet. Not restricting hardware, not slowing chip exports, shutting down software access based on national origin. That had never happened before. Here's where it gets complicated. Europe's reaction wasn't from China, wasn't from Russia, it was from allies. European governments, already worried about their dependency on American tech, had just announced the Europa Consortium, a European led open source AI model backed by 6,000 NVIDIA Blackwell chips. They were already trying to build their own path. The June directive confirmed exactly why. Because the US had now demonstrated clearly and publicly that it has a kill switch for frontier AI, and it will use it. European leaders called it precisely that: a kill switch. And here's the paradox nobody in Washington wants to say out loud. The move designed to contain the risk may be the move that multiplies it. Every country watching the Anthropic shutdown learned the same lesson. Don't depend on American AI. Build your own, outside US oversight, outside US value frameworks, outside US control. The effort to keep the most powerful AI in safe hands just accelerated every other country's urgency to build AI in their own hands instead. Think about what that actually means. Right now, the most powerful AI systems run on infrastructure controlled by a handful of companies in one country. And that country's government has just demonstrated it will exercise sovereignty over those systems whenever it decides to. The question this raises isn't whether this specific directive was right or wrong. It's something bigger. Should any single government have unilateral authority over access to intelligence itself? The EU is trying to build an answer. China has been working on one for years, and the US just made the urgency of that question impossible to ignore. The arms race for AI sovereignty isn't coming, it's here. And unlike previous arms races, you can't count what's at stake. You can't fence it, you can't guard it, you can't see it. You can only watch who gets to decide what minds can know.